Praying one day Big Red will win the NIT.
Ham is the water of meats.
Ham the water of meats.
Ham is the water of meats.
Someone needs for bacon.
Ham is the water of meats.
Welcome back. And we are live on Stibbs TV. If you want to see Stibbs in studio, me in my house, Josh in his new apartment. By the way, it looks nice. Looks like you've got things put away. It's pretty neat and tidy. And then if you want to see Jack in his Wyoming Cowboys hat for the second straight week, go Cowboys. All right, Jack, let's get right to this. So you're stuck without a snowblower in probably the all-time single-day record snowfall in the history of the city of Lincoln. I hope you have help.
Well, I did about noon. I did a pass with the shovel, but it turns out I got a guy who lives across the street from me who follows me on Twitter and saw my video last night of my snowblower breaking, and he walked over while he was shoveling. He was like, dude, you don't have to do this. I'll come over with my snowblower. So he did the sidewalk. So that was very nice. And then my son just went out and he did the driveway again because there have been like several inches that have fallen since I did it at noon. So yeah, we've taken 2 passes at it. We probably have another 2 or 3 left yet in us.
I was going to say, do you have like a game plan of like number of inches come down? Then that means it's time to do another scoop or another snowblower.
Yeah, I think you want to keep it under 6 inches. If that's
agreed.
Yeah. And I can't.
251. This is the first time we've made any kind of measurement jokes.
Oh my gosh! I can't even scroll Twitter without saying "That's what she said" every time I go through one of them.
Yeah, I made the first pass about an hour ago. I'm gonna. We'll see what happens. I just wanted to make sure to get the wife into the driveway, and then once that was done, my wife. What always happens though is because I leave for work early, before I actually scoop in the morning, I always lay down just those knots of snow underneath the tires after I leave that are impossible to actually get up. And so I never have a nice clean driveway until it all melts. Yeah, well, that's the way it is with all of us. So, okay, why couldn't you fix? Well, first of all, tell us about the pull rope, because you broke the pull rope last night. You were had you not started your snowblower yet this year?
Okay, so I got this snowblower I don't know, it's like 6-7 years old. I got it for Christmas years ago from my dad and mom. I was very excited when I got it, and I loved using it. It always worked great. It's a Honda, and it would start on the first pull every single time. And then this first time we got a snow late this fall, it wouldn't start. And I just kind of gave up, and we didn't have any real big snows. And then yesterday I was like, I probably should see if I can get that running, because if we're getting a foot of snow or more, I'm going to want to have that. And so it was a Sunday afternoon, and I'm like, I'm tired of not being able to do things like handyman style. Listen, I'm a man. I'm a man. I'm 4 days younger than Tom Brady. It's time for me to start doing some of these things. And I just installed some lights out on our house the other day and did the wiring and everything. And I was feeling like the testosterone pulsing through me. And so I said, I'm just going to watch YouTube videos and see what people say. And I taught myself how to change the spark plug. I taught myself how to empty the gas into an approved container, to change the oils, and then to put a little carburetor spray, Gooby Gone, or whatever it's called, in the carburetor. Gum out, and clean out some other stuff. And so I did it. So I told my wife, I was like, if I'm going to do this is going to take me hours and hours and hours. So I'm going to have to learn. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to make like 10 runs to the hardware store, and all of those things happen. But there was not that fatal problem that I usually have when I'm doing some kind of a project, like when I flooded our bathroom when I was trying to put in a new toilet, for example. And so I got done, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I did all this. I think it's going to start at this point. And it took me I watched like 1/4 of the Packers game. And then I went out and I started doing it. And the Chiefs game was already at halftime at that point. And so during halftime, I was like, okay, I'm very excited. I want everyone to know. And so I'm going to live stream this thing.
Of course you are.
I'm going to live stream this thing and show to everyone that my accomplishment, because I was very proud. And I get it. I go through and if people have seen the video, I go through and I showed all the things I did. I showed the old spark plug. I showed the products I use. It's like I watched so many of these YouTube videos where dudes are doing this. I started to think, I wonder if I could make my own YouTube channel doing this. So I get there, I count it down, I pull it, and I think I had so much testosterone and adrenaline and just manliness built up. I pulled that string with such torque, with such passion, that I ripped it straight out of the, whatever you call it, the engine thing.
You almost got to the end of that sentence sounding like really cool and tough, and then
right,
the engine thing,
the metal wheelie, stringy thing.
Also, the best part, Jack, is that it starts. It actually worked.
Yes, I pull it, and it started like I barely touched it. It was in such fine condition. It's one of the best 4-cycle motors in America right now because of the work I did on it, and I have no way capable of now starting it. I have an incredible piece of equipment that I can't start. So I get on it. So everybody's going nuts. And I did not set that up.
Fake
I promise. I got accused of making clickbait. No, I was literally.
Friends, take it from me. I've known this man for 15 years at least. His life is a Greek tragedy. This is what happens to him.
Yes.
He's not competent enough to set this up.
Just when I had a victory, just when Nebraska ball's up with 4 with 47 seconds left. Here we go. And then I had all these people, saying, hey, you can fix that, Jack. That's not that hard. They're like, people are looking up. They're like, Home Depot's open till 8. It's only 7:20. So I said, you know what? I have high confidence right now. I'm going to fix this. You're right. So I drove out to Home Depot and I bought a string or a pull cord or whatever, a universal pull cord. I took off the little housing where it goes into, and I didn't see the remnants of the old string anywhere. And I posted some pictures of it. It looked like nothing that was on any of the YouTube videos. I had no idea what to do. I was tired. I wanted to watch the rest of the Chiefs, and I just said, all right, I'm just going to scoop tomorrow. So that's how it ended. So, I got the pull string in there.
I was really confident when I sent you that video link. I thought, I think you can do this. I think
that was a totally different kind of thing. And the dude, no, it did not sound easy. He was putting a screwdriver in there to hold it in place, and he was doing Boy Scout knots and all of these things. Look, I expended about 2 years worth of high quality workmanship yesterday. We're gonna have to wait until at least 2023 before I can make that kind of output.
He had this screwdriver that he used correctly. It wasn't easy at all. I don't know.
Look, I still got things like sitting here. I got a screwdriver without a top sitting here, and another one.
Yeah, but then the best part was after all of that was done, when you finally threw up your hands and said, I give up, then it's a picture of a broken shovel saying, I guess this is what I have to do next. How do you have a broken shovel?
Yeah, why wasn't that put together already?
You went to Home Depot. I was just there on Saturday. They had shovels for like $9. I
went and bought one this morning, but because let me show you here. So I'm a really old man. I like this shovel because it's got the big bend in it.
I hate that thing,
and it helps your lower back when you're old.
I know, but it doesn't work well.
Or whatever noise you guys make.
You don't get very good torque with that thing.
So I have another one, but I really wanted to use this one. But it's, as you can see, it's been, I don't know if the screws would have even held in that thing. It was not in great condition. So I did.
What are you using that as a pry bar? How do you break that?
Those things are crap.
Yeah, I don't know. I bought a new one today. So now I was going to try and put this together again. There was a moment last night where I felt like I could build a house myself. I was that with the help of YouTube. And then after all that happened, I was like, no, I can't even figure that out.
I was going to say, so now have you given up on doing anything ever again?
For a couple of years, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a leaf blower?
Yeah.
Did you think about just blowing the snow off your driveway?
Okay, that's not going to work on 12 inches of
I don't
know. Now it's not, but if he would have kept on top of it, he might have. What am I
going to do, stand out there for the entire day, Stibbs?
There were dudes out downtown doing it all night.
Just lay on the ground and blow it before it even hits the ground?
Well, that's not a bad idea.
How about get 200 people to just lay in the snow and just do constant snow angels?
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
My son, who's driving now, kept his car on the driveway, so that's part of it that I don't have to shovel. So that's been nice. And I made him go out. That's the other thing.
Why didn't you just do that? Put a bunch of cars in the driveway. Get all your neighbors around. Fill up your driveway. Then you don't have to do anything.
We're fine. We've done 2 scoops. We're fine. I can scoop. But as John pointed out, and people were kind of giving me a hard time, but I live on a corner, and that's like, that's bad, you know, man. I have a massive mansion of a house, and so like there's lots of sidewalk in front of it. It's not a small deal to scoop all that, but we'll get through it. We'll do it. You know, I'm confident we can make this happen and live and learn as we go forward. Oh, by the way, so many people told me, including my own father-in-law, who called me after seeing the video, and he said, "Well, you did everything right except for that last part." But he said, he was like, "You should have just left it running." And I had so many people say that. You people think I was going to leave a snowblower running 24 hours?
Wouldn't it run out of gas?
The neighbor,
eventually.
Well, yeah, just keep putting in gas. That was the bad idea. Everyone who said that, stop.
Sorry, honey, I need to get up at 3 a.m. and fill the snowblower again before it runs out of gas.
That's dumber than the leaf blower.
Yes, that is dumber than the leaf blower.
I had a video sent to me by Adam, and he wonders if you thought of this idea, and it's a guy using a flamethrower. Did you think about that?
Like lighter or maybe a blowtorch?
No, I have a lot of extra gasoline now too that we need to get rid of. That's kind of been sitting out, but I bet it's still very flammable.
Hey, how did you take the gas out of the snowblower? How did that work?
There's a little screw that's incredibly hard to find in there. That if you screw it, there's a little tube where it comes out and it just drips out, and put it into a tray, into a pan. Cool. Yeah, it's just what I do. Well, it's just what I do. I just know snowblowers.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen, the Greek tragedy of Jack and the snowblower. Well, hopefully at some point we'll get that thing fixed for you, and the next major apocalyptic snowstorm.
I'm going to bring it in somewhere and get that tie put on there. I'm excited to use it here in winter 2021-22. That thing is going to kill the snow next winter.
I think your next project should be rebuilding your internet router.
Is it bad? I don't even know. All right.
Right for a second right there. It's been fine till then. It was perfect timing.
All right. Well, on to at least a little bit of sports. You know, we spent you know, a good part of Friday's show, and we just talked a little bit about it in the last segment. All of the different things that Frost said, you know, talking about Wandale and his departure, about the special teams coordinator and going back to an analyst, you know, Bill Moose kind of throwing out the gauntlet that they expect to contend for the division next year. How did all of that collectively land with you? Were you annoyed? Were you just like, I don't want to hear about this right now? Just how did you react to all of it?
I told Josh, we were talking about on Twitter, and I was giving Josh a hard time because he's fire everyone guy, and he was mad. And I pointed out that fire everyone has basically never worked here at this school. But nonetheless, I was mainly tongue in cheek. I mean, I have zero. I mean, the only thing I'm particularly interested in now is results. And I have no theory. I have no theory left on how to get results. I have been so scarred by all of the failed attempts that I thought would work that I don't pretend to even be able to explain what this program needs to do well. The only thing I can do is sit and wait through the offseason. I don't even have the energy in me to armchair quarterback the thing now about a special teams coach or not. I mean, that's legitimately where I am. And it's sad. And it is a bit apathetic, as Josh was saying, but I just did not have the ability to get whipped up about this kind of stuff and really feel particularly strongly about it here right now, which isn't particularly good for sports radio, but that's where I am.
Do you want the offense to change? Like, I know that's kind of been a discussion point, and I don't know if any of us exactly know what that means in terms of this coaching staff. Is it mean more I formation? Is it just going straight power? But there seems to be enough rumblings that I'm wondering if something is going to change. Do you want the offense to change?
No, I think the horizontal passing game is great. I'd like to see them stick with that a lot. I think it's about to work. I think, yeah, I definitely wanted to see a change. I absolutely think you need to change. And again, here I'm going to go fall back, and this is kind of a lazy thing to do, but I don't know exactly what I'd do with it. You've got to have something that truly matches your personnel and the conference. And I think there needs to be some thought put into that. And I don't know exactly what that is right now. And I don't even know, I don't even know what they've got for next year. But yeah, at some point, Josh, you've got to do something different. I mean, that offense is not what they're doing with that offense is not cutting it, and it's not close. And it's not close. And yeah, it's about talent to some degree, but I think we can all see how just clunky it's felt and inconsistent it's felt. So yeah, that's the biggest thing I think that you could do. I think we've talked about this before. I think it's the biggest thing you could do to engender some level of optimism about the program now is say, hey, we're kind of really rethinking the way we do the offense. We thought we could take this conference by storm with this. That's obviously not true. And so we're going back to the drawing board. They'll never say that, but to me, that's what I'd like to hear at this point. Yeah.
I want to read you something. This was one of the quotes attributed to Frost, and we haven't talked about this yet on this program, but Frost talked about how this job is unique and that the fishbowl was different in ways that he hadn't expected. He said, quote, "There's a rumor mill, there's distractions for players. I've been through it now as a player and as a head coach. Maybe what surprised me was the depth and the amount of things that have to be dealt with here compared to the other place." And he's referring to Central Florida. I don't know how you came down or you come down on this, but when I heard these quotes, I almost felt like saying, well, no, duh, of course it's different here. It's different everywhere, but this is Nebraska. It's the one thing we have in this state. People nitpick everything, and they have for decades. So I guess I'm confused as to what his the scenes, or at least it sounds like this is some kind of revelation that he didn't realize he had to deal with before getting here.
I don't know. I am so tired of hearing that this job is too hard for anyone to do. I mean, that's what Bo said when he was on the way out too. It's so bad. It's so difficult. Okay, well, listen, that's frustrating. That is really frustrating as a fan for me to hear. And I still don't believe. Okay, fine. Central Florida. I agree. That's probably true. But again, don't tell me that, LSU or Oklahoma or Tennessee or any of these places, Alabama are particularly different than that situation. There's this, I don't know. There's this real frustration that I get as a fan when you have coaches who seem to be lamenting how difficult the job is because of who the state is and what the importance is of football. And that's where I soured on Bo just tons. I got really sour on Bo because of that. So I hope that's just kind of a one-off comment from Frost, but it's not, it's almost not surprising that he's saying that after what's gone on over the course of the last couple of years.
So two things real quick. I trying to find maybe a reason to defend his comment in this regard. I wonder if he means it from the standpoint of like Twitter and social media, because obviously that is different from when he played compared to now, is that there are the same amount of voices, but we can hear them in different ways, I guess is how I would describe it. Whereas back then there were only a couple of radio shows, the newspapers, and that was basically it. So I guess that would be one area, but I did find it a little rich also coming from the guy who was writing guest columns, or he was doing a blog during the Bill Callahan era, and he himself was very critical of the Bill Callahan era. And there was that one blog in particular, and I imagine you remember it, John. I think it was from after the Kansas loss, the first time that Nebraska had lost to Kansas since the 60s in 05. And the quote that has always stood out to me and others is, maybe I just care too much. I mean, so this is a former player, not even a decade removed from being at Nebraska, and he is being ultra critical in the moment. So yeah, I on one hand, I did want to defend him like, oh yeah, well, it is different now. On the other, though, he was a part of some of that criticism for a coach that was very reviled from the moment he got hired.
I said this to you guys when we were talking this year about what he said. The reason I think so many people, I don't want to generalize for everybody, the reason that I was excited about, one of the reasons I was excited about him coming here is you get rid of that crap and that guilt complex that coaches like to put on this, whatever it is, on Nebraska football or the fan base or all of that. That you thought when he came on, with that blog and with him and with his fan and just knowing everything, there's no way he's going to say that. There's no way he'll actually. And so it's incredibly disheartening now to see him do that, because that is one thing that I just thought was not going to be part of this anymore. And again, I also don't want to make too much out of one comment. but he does. I mean, it's been more than that, though. I mean, let's be honest, too.
Sure, it has. There's a lot of different examples. You know, there's a ton of different examples, constantly going back and saying, well, you know, I was treated poorly as a player, and, you know, I understand what these guys are going through, and, you know, calling back to and over exaggerating, in my opinion, a moment that wasn't as heinous as lore has made it sound. I just find it interesting that the one coach who really didn't probably handled the fishbowl aspect the best was Mike Riley. I mean,
Josh wanted him fired. Josh wanted him fired, so he's gone now.
Me? It was just me.
I mean, you were leading the charge, I think.
But it's weird how, you know, we allow some of these things to get to us when it's like this everywhere. I mean, it literally is. Mike Farron last night, when I tweeted out I can't remember exactly what I tweeted, but Farron tweeted back, well, congratulations to the Lincoln, Omaha, Council Bluffs media market for being the toughest in the nation, or some smart ass comment. It was just like, yeah, think about what it's like here, and then, you know, compare it to New York talk radio or the Philadelphia press or any other major sports market. It's not even close.
John, our media gets criticized all the time for not asking tough enough questions of Scott Frost. I mean, like, that's a constant thing every time. I mean, I saw some of it coming off of this column. Why aren't the writers who are interviewing him pushing back harder? It's hilarious how some of us can view things as either being too easy on somebody, and then the exact opposite people can say, well, actually, I think you're being too hard.
I mean, let's face it. The reason why the criticism is where it is because you're 12-20.
Yeah.
If you're 20-12, there's still going to be criticism, because then people are always going to want more. Until you win the whole damn thing, people are always going to want more, but the criticism will be different. But it's very understandable to understand where the criticism's coming from today, because you're 12-20.
And to get back to when we talked about this a few months ago, at 12-20, he's the most popular 12-20 coach in Power 5 sports right now, right?
Yep.
He is by far the most popular among his own fan base than any other 12-20 coach. It's just, I mean, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, not to mention, I mean, it's hard to fathom, right? Any of the last few coaches being able to go 12-20 and not have more criticism, because that's the other thing too. It's like, you think it's hard right now. I mean, people wanted Mike Riley fired after his first game. You know, like
people like you, yeah.
It can be tough around here. I'm not trying to say it's not, but yeah, that was another one of those comments that just kind of landed with me poorly.
I like this. Josh is now the guy that wants everyone fired. This is a good bit. I like this. I mean, you wanted Chins gone before he even got here. Look what happened. The defense is best.
Yeah, and Josh wanted a new offensive coordinator. He got that. How did that work? He wanted a new defense coordinator. He didn't get it. How did that work? And here he is on the warpath again for firing everybody.
Hey, all I wanted was a different play caller, and I got that, I guess, for half the games last year, so that's pretty cool.
Problem is, we don't know exactly which half and which plays were the ones that he called. Yeah, you know, so now we're all left to guess. Okay, were those hit? Were those?
Maybe they just alternate. Maybe it's just every other one.
Isn't that convenient though? That he'll probably just take credit for all the good ones.
I got all the touchdowns.
I called that one.
No, that was me. That was my play call.
Lubick did all the horizontal passes, right? Yeah.
The first play of the Illinois game, that was Lubick. That definitely wasn't me.
All right. Well, I'm glad to know you have good neighbors who are going to bail you out from your issues, and hopefully we'll all be able to get to where we need to go tomorrow. But I got a bad feeling we might all be stuck here at home tomorrow too. So,
John, I'm going back. We're doing live weather coverage here this afternoon, kind of like we used to do severe storm weather coverage. And so I'm driving back, and of course I got my big manly Toyota Highlander. I think I'll be fine, but the more I'm hearing about people getting stuck, I'm a little concerned that it may be a little more treacherous than I thought. I just saw a tweet that said as of 3 p.m., so only 15 minutes ago, 8.5 inches of snow at the 1011 News Studio at 40th and Vine. Yeah, but we have close to a foot here at our place, so it already puts us in. If that's true, if you actually have a foot, it makes this currently the third largest ever snowfall in Lincoln. So, and it's not going to stop until what time? until 10. The heaviest stuff isn't going to stop until 10 p.m.
Awesome.
So I think we're getting to number one.
I think your minivan will be just fine.
Yeah. No, Toyota Highlander. I used to drive a sweet minivan, not anymore.
Isn't a Highlander a minivan?
No, it's an SUV.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's
bigger than a
Or
Forerunner,
a crossover, whatever they call it.
Oh.
It's a very premium SUV.
Like
It's
a
only a few additions are made every year. I got one.
Essentially a minivan.
Did you buy it from that chick in the red sweatshirt, Jan? Is that the one in the commercials? Is that the one? Isn't she the one that sells all the Toyotas?
She's a woman. John.
No, I bought it. No, I didn't. No,
Okay.
but I do get my phone service from the AT&T girl, and my insurance from the guy who gives Aaron Rodgers his special rates.
Oh, hey, at least we don't have to deal with that Super Bowl. Am I right?
I don't know. I would have been fine with any of the. Again, I'd said this again. The NFL playoff matchups have been great for somebody who doesn't have a dog in the fight. Either Packers Chiefs or Chiefs Patriots, or excuse me, Chiefs Buccaneers are really have really interesting storylines. Are going to be fun, and just watching Stibbs struggle with the whole thing is part of the fun, I think.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's Jack Mitchell from KLIN. Well, good luck getting to the station today to do nonstop. I mean, it's one thing to do like spring severe weather because like the tornadoes and stuff are moving. It's just snowing. Well, I mean, what are you going to talk about for an hour?
It's still snowing.
No, still coming down here where I am. I wonder if it's happening where you are too. We'll be right back.
People love calling in and telling you. You open up, this, John. You open up the phone lines and get everybody a chance to talk about what they're seeing out at their place, and they love it. And you can just sit back, take the impeachment talk off the air, and just settle back and talk snow. I'm very excited about it.
Could I ask a very dangerous question? Why are we even bothering with it? He's gone.
Because if you impeach it, if the Senate removes him, then he couldn't run in 24.
This is like my one safe haven during the day. Why?
Precedent, John.
I'm not doing this.
Sure, great, whatever. He's done. Get him out of
Is
here.
the Trump barn covered in snow today?
No, because it's so warm there that the snow never sticks.
Okay.
All right, Jack, we'll see you next week.
Bye, Jack.
Go Big Red. Husker basketball, unbeaten January.
He's not. Well, I mean, they did lose to Indiana, but beyond Indiana, they are undefeated. So
nice.
That is true.
GBR.
Congratulations.
Celebrating in the bullpen of the video right now. It's pretty funny.
I'm sure he is. We will continue with more of Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at the FanDuel Sportsbook. We are basically done with football season. So the next time that you are watching basketball, I've got the perfect way for you to get in on the action. And best of yet, it is free. I'm talking, of course, about NBA In Play, absolutely free to play on the FanDuel app. And it features all the fun of live betting. NBA In Play turns every quarter of every game into a free contest where you can win real cash prizes. So while you're watching the game, all you have to do is predict the outcomes of plays and game props before they happen to claim your share of the prize pool. Best of all, a new contest starts every single quarter of every game, giving you even more ways to win. FanDuel is the exclusive home for NBA In Play, so the action is always available right at your fingertips on the FanDuel app. The app is so easy to use, and it only takes 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes to sign up. And it doesn't matter where you live or where you're traveling to because NBA In Play is available in every state. Don't miss your shot. Get in the game and download the FanDuel app to start playing NBA In Play today. By YouTube.